Yet another month has passed, which means I'm going to give you an update on my last month's income in terms of interest, dividend, and cashback I got from my various apps. Now that income is obviously very passive. I'm not including my full-time salary income I get from my job, as well as my YouTube income and affiliate income, etc. because that's actually not very much passive, right? If I stopped working or stopped posting on YouTube, eventually that income would drop over time. Also, what I'm not including in this calculation is the rent I'm getting from my real estate. Most likely at the beginning of next year, I'm going to be in Dubai for a while, and there I'm definitely going to focus on my Dubai apartment and in general more real estate related content. So I'm going to give you a deeper insight and rundown onto how that all works over there. Now, while I'm recording this, there's still 2 more days to go for the month, so some of the income might be a little bit higher, but you get a good idea overall of what I'll be getting. With this, let's start off with my dividend incomes for the month of July. And actually, just a quick side note, for me, while I really like making these videos, now when I went back to my old videos, I actually saw you one of the videos I've done for my May update, and you can see over here on my thumbnail, that was my dividend portfolio at the time, which was 21.7k in total for my dividend portfolio. So now, when I go over to my actual portfolio right now, you can see here, it's already at 26,000. So that's really nice to see that only 2 months down the line, of course, I also bought with my own money some more shares, but also you can see here my portfolio has been really nicely developing in the plus, finally seeing some green in my portfolio, almost 1k in plus. So that's really good to see. I mean, the overall return is still fairly small with 3.52% over here. My dividends received so far 354 in total, and the yield on cost is nicely increasing month on month because I have been buying higher yielding dividend stocks in the past at 2.61. So with every month that goes on, obviously that percentage will go higher to the average of all the dividend stocks I have in my portfolio. And in case you're watching my videos for the first time, the tool I'm using for this is actually called Dividend Watch. You can sign up using my link in the description below to get you started. It's an amazing tool to really help you visualize your portfolio. I use Interactive Brokers as my main dividend broker of choice. I have other brokers that I use as well, but that's for my dividend stock holdings, and it integrates very nicely with that platform. It's fairly cheap actually, and you get some nice company events. You get an overview of your entire holdings. You can see quickly, the percentage of your portfolio holdings by each stock. You can click into the stock, how much you have, how's the development been for that stock, some of the KPIs. It's a really great tool. If you haven't checked it out, then definitely give it a go. Right, but I want to jump over to see what dividends I got for the month of July, which honestly wasn't really the highest month for me. And obviously I don't have that many stocks, right? The more dividend stocks you have, the higher chance that any given month you will have some of the stocks paying you out. But now that I only have a handful of dividend stocks, obviously you can see the swings a little bit more over here. You can see, some months have been very high, but previously when I had even less dividend stocks, you can see some months with hardly any income. But now that I continue to dollar cost average every single month, even the lower months starting to produce a little bit. Now, previous month in June was my highest income yet. However, July was definitely a little bit less, actually half of what was in June. But still, I got a couple of payouts, which is nice to see. Now, the first one is obviously quickly becoming one of my top holdings, actually, and a stock I want to continue investing more and more every single month, and that's Realty Income, which is a REIT, a real estate investment trust. And honestly, they pay me a dividend every single month. And interestingly enough, when you go back just to the month of March, for example, where I obviously had a significantly lower holding, but was still in this year, all I got for that month was only 66 cents, right? So that's really only a couple of months ago. And now that I continue to invest in them, it has been increasing nicely. In April, I got already €2.91. Then in May, it already increased to €4.50. And then in June, it has been at €6.64. And now in July, I'm at €7.50. And recently, I bought even more. So in August, finally, I'm getting a 2-digit dividend income for a month. So that's over €10 per month from Realty Income. So that's nice to see that they pay every single month. And obviously, that helps me to fill even the quieter periods over time. And as I said, you can click into this over here. Currently, I have almost 2.5k worth of that in my portfolio, which makes up almost 10% of my total portfolio. And I honestly really love that company. As you can see in terms of dividend income, it almost contributes 20% of my total dividend income because it pays every single month. And it has a high dividend yield, actually, of 4.5%, which is really good to see. Definitely one of my highest yielding dividend position. Then in July, I have another REIT that I really like, and that's Vici Properties. They basically own majority of the real estate in Las Vegas and now starting to expand into other parts of the world as well, but really a strong REIT, I believe. And they paid me €5.50 dividend income. But keep in mind, they paid it on a quarterly basis. But also at the same time, my position is much less. If I click into this over here, it's only €900 at the moment. It basically makes up 3.5% of my portfolio at the moment. But also a very nice yield of almost 5%. So that's really, really good to see. I like the company. I'm definitely going to invest more into VG as well. Then the third company that paid me dividend was Coca-Cola, which at €2.40 probably is just about enough to buy me an actual Coca-Cola. So it's really not an impressive amount. But having said that, I only have a very small holding so far because I think they're a little bit overvalued at the moment. For me, too expensive. So that's why I only have €323 in that, 1.2% of my portfolio. And also the dividend yield at 2.88% for me is a little bit low, especially when we look at the interest rate environment we're in at the moment, where I can even get in some of the saving accounts with some of the apps I'll show you in a second, get 3% without any lockup period. Then buying Coca-Cola, which is currently quite expensively priced, at less than 3% makes it a little bit hard to justify for me. And I think in the market we're in, those kind of companies, in my eyes at least, are a little bit expensive. I would like to own more of Coca-Cola. I think they're an evergreen company. I don't see them going anywhere, despite the recent drama with the Coke Zero, etc., all these diet things and these special supplements they put in there. But nonetheless, long term, I don't think the company is going anywhere. I'd like to buy more of them, but currently I just think they're a little bit on the expensive side. And lastly, we have Altria, which is a company I really started enjoying quite a bit recently. You can see a massive payout, actually my biggest one for the month, of €14. And that's for a simple reason. Despite right now, my holdings is still fairly small, at less than 3.5% of my total portfolio with €900. But the great thing is, you can see here the dividend income, despite the small position, makes up over 12% of my total dividend income. And that's due to the fact that they pay a really nice juicy dividend of 8.27% currently, which is by far the highest dividend position and dividend payer I have in my portfolio. Now that obviously has a reason. Altria is an American corporation and one of the world's largest producers and marketers of tobacco, cigarettes and related products. Now personally, I'm a big advocate of living a healthy lifestyle. I don't smoke myself and I don't encourage anyone to smoke. However, the reality is, in the world, a lot of people are actually smoking. And as an investor, I say to myself, it's legal. If people can smoke, they will spend money on this. So why as an investor, I shouldn't benefit from it? The same with Coca-Cola, right? I don't drink Coca-Cola myself. I think it's really not that good for your body. Yet a lot of people do that. So why not benefit? So for me, I don't have any moral issues with this. Obviously, they pay a high dividend because the stock price, as you can see, has remained largely flat for a year, only grew by 3%. Actually, if I look at 5 years, it actually dropped at 22%. So smoking in general is not really a growing industry. On the contrary, actually a trend is that people start smoking less. So they're trying to diversify away into vaping products and other things. But overall, definitely it's not a high growth industry for sure. So when we compare it to the S&P 500, for example, you can see here for 5 years, obviously S&P grew by 62%, while more actually dropped. However, when we look at the total return, it's a slightly different story. Still, it underperformed the S&P 500. But if we consider the dividends as well, then obviously the S&P 500 grew even more to 77%. But then instead of a negative, actually Altria returned to a positive of 14%. So it's something just to keep in mind. Obviously, I wouldn't want Altria to be one of my largest positions, but as a small position and a big dividend contributor, I do believe it definitely has a place in every serious dividend investor's portfolio. And that's it for July. When we look at August, it's going to be even lower. However, obviously, I will continue to dollar cost average into more stocks throughout the month of August, most likely going to buy some more realty income. So hopefully that amount will further go up as well. Might add some other stocks depending on what's attractive. So for now, it sits at €24, but overall, I think it will still go up. And then September, so far, looks to be my highest ever income. I'm edging closer to getting my first 3-figure dividend income month, so that would be nice to see. But I'm really happy to see that now my annual dividends already over €600. I mean, only last year for the entire year, my dividend income was €145. Now, since this year, since I took it serious, it obviously went up significantly higher. So that's really nice to see. I'm really happy with the development. And as I continue to invest, that number will only continue to grow. All right, with this, let's move on to my interest income for the month of July. And that's really nice to see that despite interest going up, and if you borrow money, that's getting really expensive for you to pay back, especially if you have a mortgage, etc., that becomes really expensive every single month. And I feel for a lot of people who didn't fix their interest rate and now pay a higher mortgage rate. On the other hand, if you're actually saving your money, you're finally getting some interest, not from my bank account, in my local Lithuanian bank where I keep my money. Actually, I get still 0% interest. On the contrary, they charge me a monthly fee for having my account there, which is crazy. But I'm using a couple of apps where I'm getting now up to 3% interest on my money, which is amazing to see. So let's start off with my first and one of my favorite apps for that, and that is Lightyear. Now, Lightyear is an amazing app, mostly used to buy stocks and ETFs, which it really does at very low cost. It's amazing, especially if you live in Europe or the UK. It's one of the best brokers I can really recommend. I'll do future update videos on this because I think they really offer a lot of things. But one of the favorite things I use it for at the moment is obviously the interest I get on the cash. So when I click into cash over here, you can see here the various accounts where you're going to get interest. So right now I don't have any pounds, but I'll be getting 4.25% on my pounds, 4.5% on my US dollars. But here I only keep my euros because that's, the currency I receive. I mostly transact in, and that's 2.75%. Actually, next week they will increase that to 3%, which is amazing because the ECB increased the rate and they pass it on to you. So if I click into this, you will see that right now I got so far lifetime interest 107 euros, and for this month alone 43 euros, which obviously with 2 more days will come to over 45 euros in 1 month just by keeping my money there. I mean, that's really amazing. That basically pays exactly for my Revolut Ultra plan, I'll show you in a second, which is actually 45 euros. So basically I get that free of charge just by keeping my money here. It's fully protected up to 20,000 euros. So that's why I kind of stay under the limit. I would of course love to have even more cash over there, but I want to make sure my money is protected, and up to 20,000 euros, it's fully protected and insured. So that's amazing. And I really like how they very transparently, break it down, the ECB base rate. They take a small fee very transparently, and the difference is paid to you. And as it says over here, it's earned daily. And then obviously the interest is paid out to you at the end of the month. So basically in 2 days, once the month is over, the new one started, that amount will be paid into my cash account. And then with this, I could buy some stocks or ETFs, whatever I want. So I really love it. It's so simple. It's so nice. It's very transparent. Honestly, if you haven't checked out Lightyear, then please use my link in the description below. Use the code KAI10 and you're going to get $10 worth of free stock. Nothing to lose for you. Sign up. If you don't like it, you can always close your account. But honestly, I'm sure you're going to love it as much as I do. Now, the next broker I use to keep my uninvested cash at the moment, which I do have quite a bit because we're looking into buying our next real estate. That's why I need to save a bit of money to have it as a down payment, and then obviously use that for the mortgage down payment to buy next real estate, to rent it out and get some additional rent income. So that's why, don't be surprised when you see a bit of cash flying around here. I just want to make sure I keep that, make some interest in it in the meantime until we found the place we want to buy, and then obviously use that cash to buy the property. So with this, let's move into Trade Republic, which is a German broker, but obviously available in a number of European countries. So as you can see right now, I don't invest into any stocks over there. For that, I use mostly interactive brokers, Lightyear and Trading 212. But the great thing is they also do pay interest on your uninvested cash. So as you can see over here, last month was the first month when I started, and I already got paid 57 euros for that month in interest, even though the annual interest rate is only 2%. So it's a little bit lower than Lightyear. So if you had less cash, definitely go with Lightyear. But if you have more than 20,000 euros and then obviously you maxed out your Lightyear account, then that's what I did. I opened Trade Republic to keep the difference there. The good thing here is it's protected up to 100,000 euros. However, interest is paid only up to 50,000 euros. But that's obviously still significantly higher than many other brokers. So if you maxed out your Lightyear account or Trading 212, which I'll speak about in a second, then definitely Trade Republic is a great tool as well. And as you can see over here, it's already 77 euros for this month. So only with the interest, I earned 77 euros from that app by keeping my money here. Now, obviously, I have quite a bit of cash sitting here, but still, that's really nice to see purely by just sitting around, and it is protected so I can sleep peacefully at night rather than investing it into some hot meme stock or some crypto project that nobody ever heard of, where you wake up next day and all your money is gone. Here, it's fully protected and I get that interest paid to me every single month. Of course, it's still a small amount, right? I'm not going to retire on that interest income, but having it in addition to all my other streams of income is really appreciated, and I really take it any day, of course. If you want to check them out, then please use my link in the description below and you'll have a chance to win a free stock. And lastly, my most recent addition to the interest income I get from the various apps is actually from Trading 212. Trading 212 is another amazing stockbroker to buy your stocks and ETFs completely commission free. So I really love that. I've recently done a whole review on them. I really love the broker. It's an amazing app. And if you want to check them out, use my link in the description below as well. And you will get a chance to win up to 100 euros worth of a random stock. So definitely a lot of you signed up already. Some of you sent me the screenshot. They got a free share of 78 euros just by signing up using my link. So why not? Nothing to lose. And recently they've made a nice addition to paying you interest as well. So when you go over here, I can see interest on cash. So obviously it's the lowest rate I get from all my various apps, but still 1.25% once again is better than my bank at 0%. If you have pounds, it's slightly higher at 1.65%, and in USD 1.9%. So you can choose if you want to leave other currency in here, but I have it in euros. So I only started investing with them towards the end of the month. That's why the amount is still low. But if I kept it throughout the whole month, I calculated it will be around 20 euros. So once again, it's a small amount, but still it does add up. They are protected up to 20,000 euros. That's why I'm trying to get as close as possible to that number, not to have anything on top of that. And yeah, I mean, really good. They actually pay you on a daily basis. You can see here the payouts coming in every single day. And honestly, why not, right? If you have the money sitting there anyways, maybe waiting for you to invest, to buy a stock, etc., why not make use of it? It's free of charge and still you're going to get interest income. So from interest income alone, for the month of July, I'm going to get almost 150 euros paid to me just for having my cash sitting in those accounts. It's fully protected. I can sleep peacefully at night. And it's amazing, right? Next month, as the ECB rate increases, instead of 2.75%, I get 3% with Lightyear. So that will also bump up that income a little bit. So I'm going to be well over 150 euros. So, I mean, that's just amazing. And once again, I have to pay nothing for it. It's fully protected. So definitely, if you haven't tried any of those apps, then please use my link in the description below. You will actually get a sign-up bonus. So what are you waiting for? Now, something I haven't talked about a lot in the recent times, and that's my crypto portfolio, because I'm actually focusing more on dividend growth stocks as well as real estate and accumulating some cash. So right now, with the crypto being in the state it is, obviously, if you're really a crypto believer, it's a good time to buy more because I think it's still fairly well priced. But the fact that I have over one whole Bitcoin, which was always my goal, I'm actually quite happy with that number. I don't plan to buy any more crypto anytime soon, but at the same time, I'm also not planning to sell it because I do hope that next year, 2024, when the next Bitcoin halving cycle will happen, plus potentially BlackRock's new crypto ETF, that will really give a big push to the crypto prices, so I might sell it then. But right now, I'm just happy with where it is. It's sitting on my hardware wallet, my Ledger wallet. In the past, I used to have it on the Nexo exchange. I still have a little bit of money sitting there, but obviously with the fact that it sits in my hardware wallet, I'm not getting any staking rewards anymore. I used to have it in my exchanges on Nexo and other platforms where I really got some nice staking rewards. Right now, I prefer getting the staking income on my fiat money, so to say, on my euros, rather than on my crypto. So right now, with the crypto sitting on my ledger, I sleep really peacefully at night. And as you can see, as an investor, I really like to diversify across different asset classes and really have that peaceful sleep at night. For me, that really means a lot, rather than getting, a 10x return overnight and maximizing my potential income streams. But at the same time, I've seen so many people losing everything because, the crypto exchange collapsed or something else, collapsed. And honestly, it's just not worth it for me. I obviously want to maintain my portfolio while having moderate growth in the future. I'm not expecting a miracle, but I also don't want to have everything going to zero. That's just my investing approach. Obviously, it depends on your own approach. And as a general reminder, this is not investing advice. I'm just sharing what I do myself with my money. You have to make your own decisions and due diligence when it comes to your own investments. Right, with this, let's move on to my cashback. For that, I'm actually using Revolut. And I've recently done a whole video why I upgraded to Revolut Ultra, which is the highest tier that they have to offer. And as you can see over here, in total, with my Revolut, I got over 300 euros in cashback. Sadly, that's not in 1 month. But since I started using Revolut, obviously, and yeah, if I click into this over here, you can see the bulk of it actually comes from using Revolut Pro. So whenever you sign up to Revolut, you have a regular account, and there's also a Pro card, which you can get free of charge. And depending on which tier you're on, you will have a higher cashback on your Pro account. So using my Ultra, I'm actually going to get 1.2% on every Pro transaction. Now, Pro transactions are supposed to be business transactions, right? If you're a freelancer, etc., you can use that to make transactions. I use that for any expensive trip, when I travel, when I book a flight, or buy some expensive electronic items, etc. Anything really that's a bit more expensive, and I could justify that could technically be a business expense, because I don't know how they will check that. So far, there hasn't been any issue, and that's why, you can see over there, it's my highest income from cashback. But if you use your regular Revolut card, you can click into plan cashback, and you can see over here. So the maximum you can earn is actually the amount you pay for your plan. So in my case, 50 euros, even though I pay 45 euros, but I couldn't earn more than 50 euros using my regular Revolut card. And you can also see it's only 0.1% on all your transactions in Europe and the UK. And only outside of that, you will get 1% on all transactions. So to get to 50 euro cashback in a month with 0.1% is actually really tricky. So I use actually much more my Pro card. Of course, that's only for professional expenses. But I'll try, as I said before, when I travel, when I have some expensive items, things that I could technically justify are for my business, I use that card. And for the month of July, you can see over here, just under 243, it says, on the 1st of August, I will be paid €7.31. So that's obviously, in a way, good for me. I used my card less and I spent less. So I guess in that way, it's a net positive. But yeah, you can see for the previous month, I actually got 82 euros in Pro cashback. So that's well worth it and more than paid for my Ultra plan, which, as I said, is 45 euros. And there you have it, guys. I hope you found the video useful. I really pride myself in being transparent for you, because I like to watch these kind of videos myself to get inspired and see, where can I optimize my spending and my earning potentials. And I do hope it is useful for you as well. And if you want to see more of this kind of content and also my weekly stock buys, then sign up to my newsletter, which I send out every single week. And as a sign-up bonus, I will also give you my free monthly budget and net worth tracker. So if you sign up with your email, I'll send it to you right away. Next up, check out this video over here. As always, guys, really appreciate you watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.